What's up, y'all, and welcome back to Dad Needs to Talk. I'm your host Robert, and today I wanted to jump into and talk about the first chapter for a new Shonen Jump manga series called Green Green Greens. Now, this series is basically it's a sports manga centered around golf. And so the kind of interesting thing about it, and kind of what led me here, was I don't know because I'm always pretty hesitant about covering or talking about a series, especially after just the first chapter, because uh, Shonen Jump has not been too kind with a lot of series. A lot of series don't make it, their full run. But something about this one spoke to me, and so before I dive into all that, a little bit of background on this. So the story and art is done by Kento Terasaki, who has a background in lots of some other sports manga series, specifically getting his start with Kuroko no Basket, uh, or Kuroko's basketball back in the day. And then he had a short series that ran about 3 volumes about 4 years ago called, let me see, what was it? Beast Children, which was a rugby series. And then he's done a couple of one shots here and there since then, and now back with Green Green Greens. So, with all that being said, so the kind of setup for this and kind of why I think it might have spoke to me in a way is that it basically follows this second year high schooler named Haku, who over the course of the chapter and kind of reflecting on it and stuff, he is kind of the type of person who really doesn't have anything like any like personal goals or ambitions for himself. Everything he talks about is something that somebody else has done or is doing. Like, man, did you know that Floyd Mayweather makes this much for every fight, or that Tiger Woods golf club sold for this much or whatever, or hey, his buddy or whatever is getting scouted by some baseball pros, or hey, if you sign here or whatever, you might become rich. Just kind of always talking about other people's uh, goals or what other people have accomplished, but never nothing for himself. And so over the course of this first chapter, going through that, we see him kind of interacting with one of his classmates, this girl named Olga, who through a little situation or whatever, he ends up finding out that she's really big into golf. And so the kind of seeds that kind of led to this was that early in the chapter, him and her both get called into the office to, I guess, kind of talk about their future goals. Like we've seen in tons of anime and stuff over the years where a lot of high schoolers, when they get in like their later years, will fill out the paperwork like, hey, this is what I'm planning to do, like their goals, their dreams and stuff like that. And so she had only written just down North America. And so that kind of caught his eye. And then fast forward a little bit in the chapter, he comes across her with a set of golf clubs or whatever, going to practice. And as he's watching and seeing just like how great her technique and stuff is with her swinging, he's like, huh, is this just a hobby or are you trying to go pro? And she's like, no, I'm trying to go pro. And so that kind of leads to a situation where they're talking about stuff, whatever, and then basically she ends up going off on him, mentioning how he always is just talking about other people's goals and dreams and yada yada yada. And it just like really, really made him kind of self reflective, like, dang, she ain't lying. And I think the thing that like really made this stick out for me, like I said, after reading the chapter, skimming through it a couple more times, and then just kind of just sitting around and reflecting, it made me think about Blue Period, which those of y'all that's been following me for a while, y'all know how much I love that series. Did a review on the first season of the anime a couple years ago now, which is weird to say. Uh, but it kind of made me think about the main character Yaguchi from Blue Period, of how he was also just kind of going through the motions, doing the things that his friends wanted to do, and then kind of finding inspiration and finding out that like no, okay, he actually found something in art for Blue Period that he was actually really passionate and interested in, and ended up becoming or ended up finding out that he's really good at it. I see a similar potential trajectory here. And like I said, of course, I'm making a lot of assumptions, but just speaking on just how the vibes and stuff feel off of this first chapter, it just really made me see those kind of similarities and stuff. And honestly kind of made me reflect on myself at, in some sources as well to back when I was in high school to where, you know, I always did really good grade and academic wise in school, but I also kind of was just not necessarily like not really like looking too far ahead of like okay hey college planning and the SATs and all this stuff whatever until I started like looking around and like noticing like my classmates, my best friend, making plans. Like, oh yeah, I'm going to this university here, or yeah, I'm going to be going and doing this career path, or oh, I'm going to go and work in this field, or whatever the case may be, or whatever. And it was like, man, I really ain't done no planning or whatever. And like I said, that bit just like really hit me. Like I said, reading this first chapter of Green Green Greens, and then also I went back and I rewatched the first episode of Blue Period before I recorded this, or whatever, just to kind of see if was my mind, reflecting properly, and it was. So yeah, so like I said, who knows, where this might go, but like I said, I hope, that it does kind of stick on this potential path. I think that'd be something great to see, because another thing that was really good about it was the art and the drawings of everything. Because even honestly, even from this initial color spread that we got for the chapter looks so good, so fun, and then seeing how the motions and stuff are drawn with the golf swings, and even just like as they're you know in the beginning of the chapter he was going swimming or whatever, just like different motions and stuff looked really good in the chapter or whatever, which I feel like, especially for like a sports manga, that fluid of motion is something that is like very important, and also just with any action stuff in general, because that's one of the big highlights for a series like Sakamoto Days that I love is like when the action is starting up, I know it's gonna look so clean and so fluid. And I remember years ago when I first got into reading Haikyuu, that was a concern I had because I had never read a sports manga. I've watched some sports anime, but me trying to picture like, man, okay, I don't know if I would like reading this or whatever, but the art and stuff in that was done so well with the fluid motion and how everything was drawn with the characters moving and stuff, whatever. It was like, okay, no, this can work as a manga. And like I said, I got those same vibes reading this first chapter and stuff. So, but anywho, I'm not gonna drag this on too long. Like I said, I just wanted just to kind of just share some quick initial thoughts, because like I said, like when it really clicked in my head, it was like, man, I'm kind of feeling that Blue Period vibe and stuff. But this kind of has, of course, like I said, it has the pedigree of the author working on Kuroko's No Basket back in the day, and I kind of maybe want to maybe check out this Beast Children, this rugby series they did a few years ago as well, just maybe just kind of get a feel for some of their other work and stuff. But yeah, but who knows? We'll see how this goes. If it continues to improve and continue to be good, then I'll definitely do another episode like this, just kind of to share my thoughts on it in the future if we get to that point. So, but as always, thank you so much for watching and or listening. You can find me everywhere at Danny's to Talk for all your discussions surrounding fatherhood and manga, anime, TV, and games. And with that, I'll catch you on the next one. Y'all be easy. Peace.